good evening and welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. My guest this evening is Jim Crawford, who is with the Old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club. Jim, welcome. How are you?
Good to see you, Pete.
Good to see you. How have you been?
Good. Glad to be back.
Well, thanks for coming down again. Thanks for coming down. So, Jim, tell us a little bit about the Old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club, your mission,
Sure.
exactly what you guys do.
Sure. Well, the club is over 50 years old. The two towns combined many years ago. And our primary function is to help prevent child abuse. We have a lot of community activities we're involved in, and primarily our work is locally is with Youth and Family Services. We also do scholarship programs, and there are a variety of smaller projects that we also support. But Youth and Family is a big donor for us. We give them proceeds from a wine tasting we have every year in the spring, and then we do a big road race, which is what I'm here to talk about primarily tonight, which helps to fund the ACE scholarship for students at Westbrook and Old Saybrook High School. I want to talk a little bit about that at this point. ACE is an acronym, stands for Accepting the Challenge of Excellence, and probably about 15 years ago, the club decided that we were giving out a Youth of the Year award to individual students in each of the high schools, and it seemed to be that they were the same kids that were all getting the same kind of honor. So we embraced this national program, the ACE program, which is devoted to students who have overcome some barriers, some challenges in their lives to graduate with their classmates on time. So it's a very rewarding experience for us. It's one where we provide $1,500 to each student and wish them well on whatever endeavor they have after high school, whether it be technical college or four-year college or pursuit of certification, maybe in a trade. But we're very happy to do that, and we found the experience to be exceptionally exciting for the staff at the high schools because they're given a real opportunity to pick somebody they believe is really deserving and might get overlooked otherwise.
Very nice.
So that's what the road race coming up in August will be helping to fund.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And when is the road race in August?
Road race is August 25th. It is our 9th annual road race, 5K race, Saybrook Point. Starts down at the fort at the point and travels up College Street, loops around North Cove, and then makes another loop. And we've been very successful with it. Last year we had more than 400 runners, so it was a terrific opportunity for us to connect with the community, the running community in the area. And we have high schools that have participated, high school teams that have participated for I would say the last 7 or 8 years. Westbrook High School field hockey team has run. The field hockey team at Valley Regional has run. And there have been coaches who had their students from cross-country teams who have also participated. And those students get a discount on the admission for the registration because they're part of a school team.
Very nice.
Yeah, and we're excited this year because more than usual, because we're beginning a partnership with the Old Saybrook Chamber of Commerce. So the two of us, the Exchange Club and the Chamber, are sponsoring this race, and Paul Tracy and Andy Scott from our club have been working as co-chairs with Judy Sullivan from the Chamber.
Absolutely.
Judy and a group of her volunteers have done a lot of the planning leading up to this. And it should be a great event. It brings together a lot of folks in the community and a lot of outside runners who are very involved throughout the state in recreational 5K races. So it's fun. We have some very serious runners, and we also have some weekend warriors out there who just have a good time running on a beautiful course along the Cove, and they find it to be a terrific event.
It is a terrific event.
Yeah.
I was with you last year for the event.
That's right. That's right. You were there, and it was great. I would like to also put in a plug for the chamber.
Sure.
They offer a scholarship.
Yes.
The Will Hunter Scholarship.
Right.
Will was a retired phys ed teacher who came down here to Old Saybrook and was one of the early CEOs of the chamber, and was a very valuable contributor to the community, and actually is known statewide as the father of high school lacrosse here in Connecticut. He was a very, very big proponent of lacrosse as a sport that would go well in the high school community, and he spread it far and wide across the state, and it's become an extremely popular sport for our young people. And Will is really basically the big cheerleader who brought it here. So the chamber remembers Will with the Hunter Memorial Scholarship, which also goes to local high school kids. So that's part of what they'll use their funds for, and it's a nice commingling of two nonprofit organizations that try to give back to the community, especially through high school scholarships.
Now, obviously, some of the money will go to the Exchange Club as well.
Yep.
What will you guys do with your share?
Well, ours is going to go directly to that ACE scholarship.
Okay.
So we, as I said, we give out $1,500 to each recipient, and
Wow.
in addition to that, we host their families and staff, principal, guidance counselor, some teachers from the selected schools, and so we're happy to have them at Luigi's. We make it a big event, and every June it's one of the great celebrations for our club annually.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
And what else do you guys with the Exchange Club do?
Well, we've been very committed to youth and family services for about 7 or 8 years now. We had originally been early funders of the Domestic Violence Prevention Center that used to be in Westbrook. They had a branch operation from Middletown down here in Westbrook. It was originally brought to town by the Westbrook Congregational Church. So we were participants with that for quite a while, but when they had budgetary cutbacks, they moved the branch office and eliminated that. So we reached out to youth and family, and as I said, our profits from the wine tasting in the spring are what we're primarily focused on for them.
And obviously, you've already had the wine tasting. How'd you guys do this year?
This year was the best we've had in many, many years.
Really?
We had a terrific event right before Dock and Dine was destroyed by the hurricane.
Okay.
And the first time.
Right.
And we hadn't had those kind of numbers since, but this year we came very close to that. So it was the best we've had since, was that about 6 years ago, I think.
Wow.
We have it at the Elks Club. They're wonderful hosts.
Yes.
They provide us with an at-cost meal or food, in addition, appetizers, in addition to the great work of the cordial shop over in Old Saybrook. They bring in all the vendors for the wine and the microbrew, so they're terrific to us.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
What
So
else?
it's great. It's a wonderful partnership.
It is. It is. Now, obviously, you guys had the idea of doing the wine tasting. How'd you get the idea?
We knew that there were other organizations that had done this statewide. There are 32 exchange clubs in Connecticut with well over 1,000 members. That's actually Exchange, which was originally founded over 100 years ago in Ohio. The Connecticut district is the third largest in the country. So it's a very active group, not only in our area but throughout the state. And again, they do a tremendous amount of work with child abuse prevention, and there are a couple of centers that help with situations where a parent might need to get the child out of the home. and we're happy to support those operations on a regular basis.
Now, do you guys still do the flags?
Say again?
Do you guys still do the flags? The flag
Oh,
program?
yeah. I'm glad
that.
you brought that up.
Tell us about the flag program.
A lot of people don't realize this. They think it might be a town function, but the flags on Main Street in Old Saybrook have for, gosh, at least 30 years been a project of the Exchange Club.
Really?
And yes, we have a specified flag fund, and we replace flags on a regular basis, and our members put those flags up around Memorial Day. They stay up primarily the whole summer, except when we know there are going to be serious storm conditions. Yeah. But we're proud to put those up. We put them up through Labor Day, and then they go back up again for Veterans Day in November. So,
wow.
Yeah, we've been dedicated to that project for a long time, and it's very rewarding for us.
It is.
We get a lot of people who compliment about how great they look, but they don't even realize that our organization is the one that's exclusively responsible for it.
Now,
we do get a little support from police and fire when we do put them up, take them down.
Absolutely.
But it's our fundraising and it's our club members' efforts to make sure they're up.
How many members does it take to put them all up?
Well, we've got it down to a science, so if they can get 3 members out there if they've got the right truck and they got the right kind of weather conditions, they can get them up. And we've tried to perfect the poles so that whipping them around in the wind doesn't get them all stuck in the light fixtures, and it makes it look really attractive.
It does. It does. Jim, would you mind sticking around for another segment?
I love to stick around.
We'll be right back.
I'm Howard Schwartz, Executive Communications Director at Better Business Bureau serving Connecticut with the Consumer Moment. You've probably heard the expression more than once that if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Well, never has that been more important than now. And that applies to offers over the telephone, by text, over the internet, and at your front door. We'd all like to get something for free, but it's important to remember that criminals and scammers rely on our fears and our desire to get something for nothing. Unfortunately, consumers of all ages, all over the nation, are bilked out of tens of millions of dollars a year through work-at-home scams and high-pressure sales tactics with a limited-time buy-it-now price. Treat your telephone, front door, and computer as if they're the keys to your life. There is too much at stake to make a snap decision to sign a contract or put down a deposit. Take your time and don't be bullied or coerced into sending a stranger money for a product or service. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Protect yourself, your family, and your finances. Take your time and do your homework. This Consumer Moment is brought to you by the Better Business Bureau serving Connecticut.
And welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. Sitting here with Jim Crawford from the Old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club. Jim, welcome back.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you. All right, so we touched a little bit about it in the first segment about the road race that you guys do.
Yeah, there's some.
Let's open this segment talking a little bit more about the road race and getting into more details.
Good. So the race steps off at 8:30 on August 25th. And we have pre-registration available through the Exchange Club website. If you go to oswexchangeclub.com, you'll find a hard copy as well as an online copy of the registration form. It's $20. If you choose to register the day of the race, that's perfectly fine, but that's $25. So up until a week before the race, we accept online and in the mail registration, and we're happy to provide that service. One of the benefits to that is that you can go and pick up your pre-race packet at Sound Runner in Old Saybrook. Sound Runner is one of our terrific sponsors, and the day before the race in the afternoon up until 5 o'clock, you can go to Sound Runner and you can pick up a goodie bag that not only has some items for you, including a T-shirt to your size, but also your race number and any other item you might need before the race so that you're ready to go and you don't have to fight the line in the morning on the day of the race. We do register beginning at 7 a.m. the day of the race,
yes.
but what we found is that the last several years people tend to wait, check out what the weather looks like, and we are doing probably close to 50% of our registrations that morning. So it can be a little bit of
craziness.
A little bit of craziness, but if you feel like you need to do it that way, that's fine by us. You can also obviously go to Sound Runner anytime before the race, and again, that race deadline, August 17th, you want to get there before that so that you can do the online or the mail-in registration.
Very nice.
And if you're with, I'm reaching out now to athletic directors and coaches in towns surrounding us to let them know that we're really encouraging them to bring their teams, who definitely will have started practice for the fall season by the 25th.
Oh yeah.
And we're happy to give them a rate of $15 to register, and if the AD or the coach lets us know ahead of time, we can expect that, and we can try to anticipate having someone there specifically ready to register kids from a team that's been brought over en masse, so to speak. So
very nice.
It's been a nice
very cool.
It's been a nice mix of male and female athletes who've come, mostly field hockey teams, but that's because one of our members, Jeff Dickey, has his wife Janet has been for years the head coach the head coach of field hockey at Westbrook.
Okay.
And Janet's got quite a network of coaching friends, and she reaches out to them and tries to get them to participate. And it's a terrific opportunity to blend in the conditioning aspects of practice early in the school year and contribute back to the community with a registration contribution. So it builds a lot of team spirit too.
Right, it does.
So it's fun that way. So Sound Runner, as I said, is one of our major sponsors. We've also had a great relationship with For All Promos. They've been helping us with T-shirts.
Okay.
And we got Vision Laser, Physician Laser Centers has been helpful. Andy at the paint shop.
Oh yeah.
It's been a nice mix. I don't want to miss anybody. Oh, of course, Cohen's Bagels. They've been great to us. The runners at the end of the race get a little bit of carb with some bagels. And nobody wants a full bagel. They want them cut up because they don't want to, after having run 5K, they don't want to drop that on themselves.
No,
but
definitely not.
We have a wonderful relationship with Stop and Shop. They've been donating fruit, bananas primarily for all 9 years of the race. We get water from them. It's been a real nice contribution from our community to help support that, and we're very grateful for that. There are others who will help out as we get closer. We're still soliciting sponsors, but we obviously have a deadline to get the sponsor names on the T-shirts.
Right.
And if you would like to be a sponsor, you'd like to help us out, we'd love that. I'll give my home phone number. That'd be a quick way to get in touch to let me know you'd like to do that, and we can set up how you would be a sponsor. I can be reached at 860-399-0260.
Okay.
And if you feel like you could contribute whatever the amount is, you're welcome to help us out, and we'd love to be able to get you on the T-shirt. They're real nice commemorative shirts. You've seen them in the past.
I have.
They have a nice logo, and
As a matter of fact, from last year, I found mine in the closet the other day.
Yeah, and well, you've been good enough to help out with some of the logistics of the race. A couple of tips for the runners.
Yeah.
If you're out there now tonight listening, come fairly early because parking can be an issue. We use the and if you can, carpool, because with 400 runners, it was a bit of a jam last year. We use the old Dock and Dine parking lot obviously down by the river and the adjoining pavilion parking area, but there are not 400 slots there, and
No.
you need to get there relatively early to be able to take advantage of a prime parking location. We do the best we can. We have others trying to direct folks into open spots back there, but do yourself a favor and
Come early.
Come early, yeah. Come early.
Come I was going to say, last year I remember going and getting bagels with you
Yeah.
at Cohen's.
Yeah. Cohen's been great about that, providing them for free. 12 dozen every year for free, and then if they've got an overrun, they're happy to throw those in too. So it's been a real nice relationship. For the runners, also, we have a water station partway around the track.
Okay.
And it's a little bit tricky on the loop when they make a second pass by North Cove, but we try to have a couple of our people there to help make them aware of where the route goes. One of our members, Stain Roll, said rides his bike. He's a passionate biker, and he rides his bike at the front of the race to direct people in the right direction, the lead runners in the right direction.
Very nice.
Yeah. So I should add also, we're always looking for new members.
Yeah.
And if anybody's interested, we really could use the support. We meet pretty much twice a month, first and third Wednesday at Luigi's. It's a 5:30 dinner meeting. Again, if you're interested, please give me a call at 860-399-0260. We're always membership hunting, and a lot of folks now really they're looking for a way to help. They don't have a lot of time. We promise that we won't fill up your calendar. We have people who are members, have been longtime members, who pick and choose spots that they help with, whether it's the wine tasting or the road race, or at the holiday event where we again raise some money and distribute it to youth and family for them to use for Christmas holiday presents. That's all part of the mission. So if you have limited time, we're going to work with your schedule. If you have a commitment you want to make to us, we're going to work with you.
Really?
We have a lot of folks like myself who spend a little time in the South during the winter.
Yep.
And that's tolerated too. So we're very flexible. We're very open to people who are committed to the community, and we'll embrace whatever effort you'd like to make to become part of our group.
And you guys have a new president from what
We
I
have a new
understand.
president. Rock Martell is our
Yeah,
new president. Rock this is a repeat performance for him. He was president about 10 years ago, and he's done a nice job. He's very committed, and we want to thank Pete Comey, who was our immediate past president,
Yes.
for 2 years of great service. Held the club together in a very tight-knit way to follow through on all our commitments to the community, and he did a great job.
Now the president's term is 2 years.
Well, we hold on to him as long as we can.
Okay.
So
All right.
if somebody's willing to do 2 years, we're happy to have them. If their job obligations mean that they can only do it one, then we accept that too.
Has Jim Crawford ever been president?
Yes, more than once.
You have?
More than
I
once.
didn't
Yeah.
see.
Yep. Yeah.
See, you just taught Pete Mezzetti something. I did not know you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was president.
Past president.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I did, and you know, I should mention the. Some people probably have seen the Exchange Club pond out on Saybrook Road, heading up toward Essex, and that's a long time project to the club, and we're very happy to make that a reality. It's great in the winter when we have enough cold weather. There's great skating on that pond.
Exactly.
And, we're proud to be able to help maintain that with our efforts. So
I was going to say, you guys still maintain that pond to this day?
we do.
Okay.
Yep, we do. Yeah.
I've been by the pond. I've never been to the pond.
Yeah. It's a great little spot right by Bochum Road.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's right on the corner of Bochum Road.
That's right. Yeah. So it's been, you know, I can't say enough about all the volunteers. It's we are a small group of probably 10 very active people. We have a roster of over 20, but 10 very active folks, and we rely on a lot of community volunteers for help, and they've been terrific to us. So they help make this happen. Judy is a perfect example.
Yeah. Well, Jim, we got a little bit more time left, but before we say goodnight, website one more time.
Yeah, oswexchangeclub.com.
And they can find race information.
They'll find race information there, and they'll be all set to go.
All right. Well, we are about to say goodnight, but before we do, I just want to thank you for coming down.
It's always a pleasure.
It is always a pleasure. We had a little bit more time, so before we say goodnight, race date one more time.
Race date, August 25th, 8:30, and Saybrook Point. And pre-registration available, and also pick up your packets at Sound Runner.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, Jim Crawford from the old Saybrook Westbrook Exchange Club, thanks for coming down.
Thank you, Peter.
We'll see you again soon.
Take care.
On behalf of Jim Crawford, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next time.